Welcome. So, welcome. All right. So, good evening. Well, we are still hoping for
Welcome.
others to join. Let's see. 5 minutes past. 5 minutes past. See what happened. Let's hope that so many people will join so that I don't want anybody to miss this first the topic we'll have for today, which is rudiments of music. So let's hope that few more people will join us. And please, if you're just joining, please help us to share so that others can join too. So 1 minute more and we begin. I hope we all can see. 1 minute more and we begin. I hope we all can see. Okay. So right. So we'll begin. One of the challenges people have is understanding music, like reading music, and especially in this part of the country. I really see that we are behind. Yes, we are really behind because maybe should I say it's just because of how our forefathers laid it down to us. Because if music were written down, probably we would have gotten the needed foundation. But then it's not bad because we are trying. Western music was still our thing, but we are striving. So we'll begin from the very grassroots, the rudiments of music, because in this journey, if you really trust the process, I can assure you that you know how to sight read. I can give you that assurance, and you know how to play music through sight reading. All right. So music in music, we have some symbols that music that is used in writing music, and those symbols are very important. And if you miss one, then probably you are not writing music. All goes together. They all go together. And so today, the very first thing that I'm gonna tell you that music that is used in writing music is called staff. It's called staff. Can be called staff or you can call it staff. You can call it staff, you can call it staff. And what is staff? What is staff? Staff is simply, I'm gonna give you a very simple term where you can um explain it to someone else. So what is staff? Staff simply means five horizontal lines and four spaces. So staff means five horizontal lines and 4 spaces. Another thing, feel free if you want to join me live, like maybe you have a question, you can type it there or you can request, I'll bring you on and then you ask your question. It's very, very necessary and it's permitted. So step simply means 5 horizontal lines and 4 spaces. This is simply the meaning of step 5 horizontal lines and 4 spaces. That's just what it means. And with these 5 lines and 4 spaces, we can write music up to any level that you want to write. All right, so aside this step, we have something else that is very, 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 very vital, and that is called clef. And for the purpose of making it based on popular demand, let me put it that way, we are going to treat only 2 types of clef. Only with these 2 types of clef, you can write many music for many instruments. You can write many music for many instruments. So these clefs include the treble clef or G clef, and then the bass clef or F clef. With these 2 clefs, you can write music for almost all instruments except few. But then these are the most used clef in music. These are the most used clefs in music. So then we are going to see, because stuff is not this writing I'm writing. Stuff is practical. Stuff is practical. So we are going to see how stuff looks like. Why I'm talking slowly, I'm still waiting for many people who would like to join us, because I don't want them to miss any topic. Every topic is very, very important. And please, I hope you all can see very clearly. Okay, so we continue. So we continue. I hope you're done with this because I'm going to clean it. I'm going to clean it. Alright, so this is how style looks like. I said style is made up of 5 horizontal lines and 4 spaces. Sorry, I want to. Please don't just join, share so that others can also join, please. Okay, so, and your share will encourage me to keep doing it and do it more and more and more. All right, so we move. So this is how steps look like. So this is what is used in writing music. Just how many lines? Let's see. I'm gonna use different colors of marker. So we have line 1, we have line 2, we have line 3, line 4, and line 5. So can you now see 5 lines and how many spaces? Let me use another color of marker. We have space 1, space 2, 3, 4. So can you now see 5 lines, 4 spaces? That's just what step is all about. So any question before we proceed, because it should be interactive class. So if you have any question, please just ask him. For the next 1 minute, I'll be giving room for question before we proceed. Please ask question. In the next 1 minute, ask question. And I hope you all can see it clearly. If you can't see, please tell me so I can adjust. Because I don't know if you can see. From my end it's clear, from your end it may not. So if you can't see, just let me know, please. 5 lines, 4 spaces. Okay, I think it's clear now. I'm still need to adjust a little bit. I'm trying to make it very big so that everybody can see. Okay, so that means I was far from the board and no one is telling me. Okay, so I think we can see it clearly now. I want everybody to see it and understand what we are doing here. All right, so it's clear now. 5 lines and 4 spaces. Okay, so we move. So this with these 5 lines and 4 spaces, you can write as many music as you like. With just these 5 lines and 4 spaces. So you see now that you are few step ready for music. Okay, so I said, and then the most important thing, I was expecting someone to ask, why is the numbering from down to up? It's very important to understand well why the numbering is from down to up and not from up to down. So this is the rule. Music is written from below to the highest and then return. That's how music is written. So you numbering from down to up, and then down to up. If you take this one to be your line one, you're wrong. So always, this is your line one, line two, three, four, five. So this is all what step is all about. And then remember, I mentioned clef. This is step. So I mentioned clef. So what is really this clef? So this clip, I'm trying to make it in a very simple term that you can also transfer to someone. So clip is simply a musical symbol that is placed. Please listen to what I'm going to say. Musical symbol that is placed at the beginning of the step. This is the beginning of the step. This is the ending. This is middle. So clefs are placed at the beginning of the step to indicate its pitch, the pitch of that music. Once you place the clef, then because step is not a fixed do system, it's a movable do. So once you place the clef, it's gonna help you to know the pitches. Okay, so this place is now E, F, G, A, or whatever. That's the duty of the clef. Without the clef, you won't know where your E or F. If I should just write music on this without the clef, it's meaningless. That means what I'm writing does not have any meaning. It's on pitch because you can't know where your do or E or G or whatever is. But with the help of the clef, you know that. So that's the function of the clef. Okay. So now we have three major types of clef. We have the treble clef, we have the bass clef, and then we have the C clef. Now the C clef is also called movable clef, because without C clef you can write the alto, you can write for the tenor. So C clef is also known as movable clef. Okay. So, but the most popular and most used clefs are the treble and the bass clef, which that is what we are going to do today. So now before we continue, do you have any question? Ask question before we proceed. Because we are taking this step by step. I don't want to rush. Because I want you to understand how to read music. Not just read. You do a lot, so I don't want to rush. Ask question now. So it's question time. 2 minutes for question. While I do a few things here. 2 minutes for question. We are not moving. Someone should ask question. It's question time, please. Ask question. We are not moving. Okay, so it seems there is no question. So we proceed. Okay, so now we are going to consider the two types of clef and music. The two types of clef that we are really going to use, because the treble and the bass clef are used in grand step and are used in piano playing, and they are used mostly in choral writing. Yes, and so even violin use the treble clef, and trumpet always use these two clefs. So that's what I said are the most used and most popular clef. Alright, so I'm gonna try to draw the clef along with the step so that you can see how it looks like. So that on that note, that means I'm gonna draw this step again. Okay. So we go. That's 5 lines, right? Uh-huh. Let me be sure that you can see very well, because this drawing now, at the end of this class, I will ask you to draw it for me. Okay, so now treble clef. It's also called G clef. Now, the reason it's also called G clef, okay, let me just begin. The reason it's also called a G clef is because it takes its starting point, its root, from this second line of the clef, which is called G. As we proceed, you're going to see it is so. Now, look at the drawing of the clef. The clef begins on this second line. That's where it takes its root. So we begin, you can do like this as a beginner, and then you proceed, and then you curve it, move like this. I'm going to try to draw it again, but can you attempt drawing this? Now, let me draw it again. You see, you start here, second line, right? You take it, you curve it, and then you move here. That is treble clef. This is what we call treble clef. Now, can you try drawing it in your book and probably send it to me here on the comment section? Let me check. I'm waiting 1 minute for this drawing. We are not rushing. 1 minute for this drawing. I want to see you drawing this treble clef now. See where I take my starting point. I want to see you drawing 1 minute for it. I'm waiting. One minute for the drawing. I'm waiting. Waiting. So we move. This is how treble clef looks like. And then we are now going to try the bass clef. Are we ready? So I'm going to plane. Okay, now let me draw this the bass clef along. Now this is how the bass clef looks like. This is how the bass clef looks like. You see, treble clef was on the second line. Now bass clef steps on the fourth line, like this. And then you put 2 dots on line 5 and on space 4 and space 3. That is bass clef, how it looks like. So this one is not hard. And then I think we are more steps to reality. Yes, we are more steps to reality. We are now up to some level of understanding music. So we proceed. After having this, I'm still hoping many people will join. That's why I'm taking it. And not just that, I want all of us to really understand what is happening. Not in a haste, because if we take it in a haste, then probably so many people will miss out. And I'm still hoping that you think about the question to ask, except you really understand up to this point. But if not, then you should ask your question. Now I'm using this other phone to moderate what is happening there. So if you see me with phone, it's not because I'm being distracted. This phone is for moderation. So I need to moderate what is happening. Because it's not easy. So I'm moderating it from this end. So pardon me if you are seeing me with phone. Okay, so we move. We're ready. Okay, so we move. Now what's the next thing we are going to now consider is called, we are going to write the treble clef first in the stem on its own, and then we are going to do names of lines and spaces in treble clef, And if we have time, then we are going to add on the bass clef too. So I hope we are ready. Now let's go the lines and spaces in treble clef. Let's see how names of lines and spaces in treble clef. Let me clear it well. Names of lines and spaces in the treble clef. That is what we are going to consider now. Okay, names. Okay, so we are going to consider the names of lines and spaces in treble and bass clef. That is what we are going to consider now. Names of lines and spaces in treble and bass clef. First, we begin with treble clef. First, we begin with treble clef. All right. So, all right. So, this is. I'm going to draw the line. Okay, that's good. So, we are going to draw the. Okay, so 5 lines, right? All right, so I really appreciate everyone that is here to support me, because you're not just here to learn, you're also here to support me. And then I really appreciate you, and I request that you share it so that others can come and benefit too while supporting me. Okay. Okay. So names of lines and spaces in treble clef. So we've drawn the, remember this is the steps. And remember your line 1, 2. So we now draw the treble clef again. I hope you've been able to draw your treble clef like me. Okay. Remember this is line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, and line 5. Okay, so what is the name of the line 1 in treble clef? Line 1 is called E. Line 1 in treble clef is called E. Now, line 2, enjoy lifestyle. Say hi. Thank you, Casey, my love. It's here. Well done. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Okay, so line 1 in treble clef is called E. Now, line 2 in treble clef is called G. Line 3, number one. Thank you all for joining. Please support me, share it so that others can come benefit. Line 3 is called B. Line 4, enjoy lifestyle. How are you doing? Line 4 is called D. Line 5 is called F. So line 1 is called what? Line 1 in treble clef is called E. Line 2 is called G. Line 3 is called B. Line 4 is called D. And line 5 is called F. So this is for the lines in treble clef. And I'm going to give you an acronym for this, mnemonic for this, so that your learning can be simple, so that it aids your learning. And for the lines, we have line 1, right? The line we have line 1, right? And we have line 2, line 3, line 4, and let me make it so that line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5. Okay. So for the line 1, I'm doing well, or enjoy. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Okay, so for the line 1 we have E, right? In treble clef line 1 we have E. And line 2 we have G, right? Line 3 we have D. Line 4 we have D. And line 5 we have F. And note one thing, that these names here is forever. They are constants. It's never going to change. So anytime you're on treble clef, and line 1 will always be E. Line 2 will always be G till Christ come. It's never going to change. That's the how, and that's why I say that style music is very simple, because nothing changed. Once you understand, you don't understand. Style is very simple. It's because forever, once if you are playing on any instrument or if you are singing, the only thing that changes are the pitch. Oh, the pitch does not change, but the only thing that maybe I should say may change are maybe if accidentals are added. But till Christ comes, E will always be line 1 in treble clef. And G will always be line 2 in treble clef. And B will always be line 3 in treble clef. Till Christ comes, that's just how it works. Very simple. Okay, so we continue. So line 1 is called every. Line 2 is called good. It's not called, but this is just an aid to cramming this thing fast. So there's no way you not remember that first line is every, and then you remove E for us and keep the remaining letters. We are not interested. And then line 2, good. Okay, good. Good, that's G. First name, first letter G, you understand? So it's just a guide to cramming this thing fast. Line 3 is boy, line 4 deserves, line 5 favor. So now it's very simple. You see now that every good boy deserves favor. So you know in fact, right now I know that you've crammed it, because if I should ask you, you can easily answer that. Every good boy deserves favor. Every line 1 good. Every line 1 good, line 2 boy, line 3 deserves, line 4 favor, line 5. So you can remove E for line 1 for me, G for line 2 for me, B for line 3 for me, D for line 4 for me, F for line 5 for me. You can easily do it. That's what I say. It's not hard. And do you have any question before we proceed? This note that whatever I'm doing here is for the treble clef. Lines in treble clef. This is line in treble clef. This is what makes this stuff treble clef. This This one is treble clef, and that's why line 1 is E. When we go to bass clef, it's not going to be so. We'll have different things. So line 1 is E in treble clef. And these are for the lines. Then we have the space. Space 1 in treble clef is called F. Space 2 is A. Space 3 is C, and space 4 is E. Now, let me write. These are for the space. Space 1, space 2, 3, and 4. Can you see it? Space 1 is F. Space 2, A. Space 3, C. Space 4, E. Note, this is not space 1. This is space 1. Now, if you start from bottom, in fact, you'll be gelled musically. So like space 1 is the bottom, line 1 is the bottom. That's the rule. Are we good to continue? So this one is simple. You can use the spelling of face to cram this one. You can use the spelling of face to cram this one. Very simple. And so far, can someone ask me a question? You can request to join and I will bring you on. Then you ask your question. Request to join and I will bring you on. Then you ask your question. I'm waiting. Ask question time. Question time. Question time. Ask your question. Question time. Question time. I'm waiting. Also, you can even drop your question here in the comments. Then I will explain it further. I'm waiting. This is question time. 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 Yeah, I'm hoping that someone should ask a question. This is question time. Even if you understand, try to ask a question. It helps. Ask question. Even if you understand, it helps. Okay. Why is the staff numbered from down? Why is the staff numbered from down? Down. Okay. This is a good question. This is a good question. Well, I may not be able to really give why, but I can explain because why is that? Why is just like asking why is my hand here instead of here? So I may not really know why God placed your hand here instead of placing it somewhere else. So, but I can explain why it's so at the same time. Okay. So the thing is that the rule. Everything has rules. That is the rule, and that is laid down rules, foundational rule. And besides, you can't start singing music from the climax, but rather you don't descend in singing, you ascend. For instance, you don't say "Oh," you don't you like that's the rule in music. You start from low to high, and then that is just how music is. Yes, enjoy life. That's the rule. That's just the rule. I can't really explain more than just telling you that that is the rule. It's just like asking why is my head here instead of here. That's how where God placed your head, and that's the Western rule in music. How it what was generally accepted, and then it becomes the rule. That's it. So I hope you understand at who asked the question. Mystery story. That's the rule. And nothing more to say. That's just the rule. So this is question time before we proceed to the base clef. So I'm still waiting for someone to ask more questions. Someone should ask a question. Question time. Someone should ask question. I need two questions to proceed. I don't like boring teaching. When you ask question, it inspires me to explain more and it makes me happy. So it's question time and I'm still waiting that for you to ask question. Please ask me question. Ask me question. Yeah, there's a difference between enjoy life, but there's a difference between knowing music and then music is something that you never know till the day you die. But then music is not hard to know. Why I'm saying so? Music, you can't perfect music, but you can always know music. It's all depend on what you want to know. You understand? For instance, you like if you're trying to ask me how long can it take for someone to know how to read, interpret, and play music, then I will say it all depends on your determination and consistency because music is very jealous kind of partner. If you leave it, it leaves you. Understand? So if your question is hmm, okay, how about how to play? Yeah, how to play and read music. That's what I'm saying. It depends on what you want to play. You know, we have some roadside players. You can use 3 6 months, 1 year. Although you still keep growing, but then to some level, 6 months you can do something in music. But whether it's from good foundational music, whether it's anything, but then how to read music. 1 month, 2 months, you can begin to read music. Yeah, 1 month, 2 months, you can begin to read music. Then from there, 3 months, 1 year, you can play music to some level. In fact, if you're very consistent and determined in 1 year, you can even play music and someone will be like, you have been playing this for 3 5 years. Yes, I'm saying it from experience. I was not even as consistent as, but people can't really believe how many years I'm into music. Because why? I think the most important reason is because I had a good foundation. And that foundation helps me to grow well. Sometimes I come online to YouTube, watch videos of music, and then I keep growing because I have that universal foundation. You know, there are some foundations you have and it's not universal. What I mean by universal is there are some things you see online, and if you've not really been taught it, if you've not understood it, it becomes a if you see things online, you won't be able to understand them. So I had that universal basic education on music, and that's what is helping me. So what is the question now? Okay, sheet music. How often do you suggest one should practice daily? Okay. Yeah, how long you practice doesn't matter, but the most important thing is that you you set goal. You don't just practice because and I've already talked about this. So many people the reason they give up on music, especially on sheet music on side reading is because they try to they are desperate. I personally, in fact, even if you practice, like today, maybe for instance, today you say, I want to practice scale, and you practice scales. Not today you say you practice scale, you play him, you play classical music, you do everything in one. You end up not achieving anything. You know this saying, jack of all trades, and master of none. That's one of the challenges many of us have. I set goals. These 2 months, I have goal, and even that goal, I don't mix up. Like since this morning, since today, I've been on my one classical piece, and I played it, and I see achievements. But if I was trying to play the classical piece, play my pieces, other pieces, do this, I would end up not achieving anything because once you're tired, you're tired. So set goals. Practice is not really about how long you practice per day. Even if it's 30 minutes, let that 30 minutes also be 30 minutes and not just 30 minutes of jack of all trades. You see your growth. In fact, when you see yourself growing, you feel happy. That is one thing. When you see the growth in you, you will be happy to keep growing. But when you are practicing and you're not seeing any growth, you give up. There's no two way about that. So that is it. Enjoy lifestyle. I hope I've answered your question. So that's how it works. Okay, so we are done with the treble clef. Let's quickly go to the bass clef. I'm gonna claim this out. Let's quickly go to the bass clef. Alright, so we go. Okay. Alright, for the bass clef, we begin by drawing the staff. Okay, so for the bass clef, line one, first one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines. So we have 5 lines here. And remember, bass clef takes its starting point here. Then 2 dots in between fourth line. This is how bass clef looks like. The simplest clef to draw. Now we move to the names of the lines and the spaces. Remember, this is always your line 1, line 2, 3, 4, and line 5. So in bass clef, the first line is called G. The second line is B. Third line is D. Fourth line is F. Fifth line is A. This is for the bass clef. You see, in treble clef, the first line was E, but now in bass clef, the first line is G. Thank you, Casey. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay. So this is for the bass clef lines. And then for the line 1, okay, for the spaces we have first space is A, space 2 is C, space 3 is E, space 4 is G. This is space 1, 2, 3, and 4. You see now that this clef now changes the names of the lines and the spaces. So that's the function of the clef. It helps you to know where the names of each line. So without the clef, you can't name the lines. So that's how it works. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a guiding tool memorizing this clef. Meanwhile, take down my number. You can do your assignment and submit it plus 2348125945370. So now we have line 1, line 2, 3, 4, and 5. So line 1 is G, right? So this G represents good. Line 2 is B, which represents boy. Line 3 is D, which represents deserves. Line 4 is F, which represents favor. Line 5 is A, which represents always. So now you see that in the lines of these are for the lines. In the lines of best level, we have good boy deserves favor always. Is it true? Good boy deserves favor always. Is it true that good boy deserves favor? Yeah, it's true. Good boy deserves favor always because any person that is good deserves to be favored. Okay, that's for the lines. And then for the spaces, we have space one as A, right? Space 2 as C, space 3 E, space 4 G. Okay. So for the first space we have is all. Space 2 is cow. Space 3 is it. Space 4 is grass. So all cow eats grass. Is it true? Do we have some cows that don't eat grass? Or is it true that all the cows eat grass? So with this you can know that space 1 is all, and you give me A, please don't tell me all. Give me A and keep the remaining. All cow eats grass. This is for the best clef. And for this lines we have good boy deserves favor always. That's for the lines. And then for the space, all cow eat grass. And then remember in treble clef the first line was E, every. Second line was good. Third line was boy. Fourth line deserves. And fifth line always. Are we good? First line is in treble clef is every. Second line in treble clef is good. Third line in treble clef is boy. Fourth line in treble clef deserves. Fifth line in treble clef favor. Sixth line always. So, and then for the best clef, we see that we have good boy deserves favor always. Good boy deserves favor always. Don't forget this. So, for today's class, this is where we are going to end it. And I want you to not just go and sleep. I want you to practice this because when you're trying to read music, you don't need to go and open book and start remembering, first line was what, second line was what, blah blah blah. You need to gram it. So I'm encouraging you to go back and try to cram this thing so that in our next class we won't really have to struggle, because in next class we move, we won't need to struggle. So please, you go back, try to go through this again. If you have any question, just send to me on WhatsApp and I will explain it for you. Next class is Sunday, still same time. The class is always Sunday, 8 p.m. So next class is on Sunday, same time. No African time. As you can see, I don't use African time because I have other things to do. So next class is Sunday, same time. And don't just, I'm telling you the whole truth. I'm telling all of you the whole truth that if you take this seriously, you don't need to. If you take this seriously, you're going to testify. In fact, you're going to testify after like 1 month of consistency. Thank God it's video. When you don't understand, you can still come back and try to replay it and understand. So, any question before I go? Let me check. Any question?